in here, and this, I don't know.
We're just getting
So if you
settled
buy
in here,
style,
so.
If you buy your style, this is my style.
Yeah, but if you buy it,
Yeah.
it keeps.
Robin, would you be willing to shut that door for me?
Of course it.
I was waiting until you got really comfortable to ask. Thank you. And if we can make sure that our phones are on silent, that would be fabulous. I'd appreciate it immensely. I don't think I've ever sat in a comfy chair without the arms, and I'm like, this is nice, good stuff. As long as I have room to crisscross, it's all that matters. That was my water, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't let the stretch skills you go. I do it like this.
Yeah. It's still crisscrossed.
Oh,
Yeah, it does. It kind of keeps you balanced.
It really does. Oh, man. Nice. So what is today? Thursday? May.
Third, fourth.
It's May the 4th. I love this day because I always think of May the 4th be with you. And then I go into the upbringing, and then it's the response would be, and also with you.
Shireen.
Right. So this is Expansions. It's I'm Jane, for those of you that maybe don't know me or just meeting me. And this is the spiritual dimension of wellness. So it's my favorite because it's about everything and nothing all at once. A couple of the parameters that I like to state is that all beliefs are welcome here. All names to be spoken or no names are all welcome. Good morning. That I want to hold this in radical acceptance for all beliefs. So, there's that. And also want to make sure that everybody has space to share. So just being mindful of that, and that everybody deserves to be heard, and I want to hear what everybody has to say as well. So yeah, I feel I had done something to, I don't know what muscle it was. And this was, I don't know, 5 or 6 months ago now. And I've just been in some discomfort, but whatever. Had started to lose a lot of mobility in my arm. I couldn't reach behind me anymore, like as of 2 days ago. And I was like, I'm kind of tired of not feeling good. I'm kind of tired of feeling in the pain, but like whatever. And I was sharing this with a woman on Saturday who is a massage therapist. And I was just randomly having a conversation with her. I've known her for a long time. And I was like, yeah, check this. I can't move my arm past here. Ow. And so she offered to trade for a session with me for a massage. And I was like, yes. So yesterday I went to her place and got this massage. And I have so much more mobility now. I don't have it because the chair's in the way, but I actually have a lot more mobility, and I slept better than I have in so long. I didn't realize how often I was waking up and just moving was hurting for so many months. And so my body today, because it's not in pain, I feel very relaxed, and I almost feel sleepy, but I'm not sleepy. But I almost feel sleepy. It's almost like all the engines of pain had been on go for so long that now that they're turned off, they're like, what do we do? And it's almost like they're looking for something to do. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, I've been doing physical therapy on my rotary cuffs since March. So I'd be more than glad to give you physical therapy,
Like
workouts.
pointers?
No, workouts from the VA. They sent that to me, and I do it almost every day.
Cool, thanks.
Maybe one day a week I rest. But I mean, that's helped so much with, like you said, reaching in the back.
Yeah.
Because it was awkward where I couldn't probably do this.
Yeah.
And now the mobility is just surprising.
Yeah, definitely. Afterward, that'd be great. Thanks. Yeah. So it's interesting, like, that our bodies can get so accustomed to pain that when we then are not with it, it's almost like we don't know what to do. It's like our body, like everything feels a little bit weird. Everything feels a little bit off, but everything feels really right.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So-
Sorry.
Oh, can I go ahead and do this, or do you want to?
No, you go ahead.
So I just want to anchor us in to a present space of as much comfort as our body can handle right now. So whatever that looks like for you, just take a deep breath in and let it go. Take another big breath in. Relax it out. Breathe in big and full. And surrender it out with peace. And for the next couple breaths, let the breaths be big and full and steady. And let every breath out bring in a sense of peace through your body. Let every breath in add nourishment and medicine. And let every breath out bring your body peace. Let every breath in bring in nourishment. And let every breath out offer your body peace. Let every breath in nourish your body. And let every breath out be the gift of peace to your body. Let every breath in fill you with peace. And let every breath out offer you more peace. Let peace move in and let peace flow out. Let peace be your natural state of being. Let your mind relax. Let your nervous system relax. Just be with your breath, safe, secure, loved, and peaceful. Together, we'll take a big full breath in and a big breath out. Start to come back to your awareness of this space, of your place, of your own presence. I'm realizing that we're all on this healing journey to just feeling better, doing better, having more. And I think oftentimes our bodies and our minds just need to take a break. Sometimes we just need to allow peace to come through us and just let it be.
Can I get you some water?
So I'm curious, when was the last time, other than hopefully now, that you felt peace?
When I meditate in the morning.
In the mornings?
Mhm.
Nice.
Not every single time, but a lot of times I go into the peace zone,
Yeah.
a comfortable zone or zone.
The zone.
Yesterday in the park,
Yeah. Hi. What were you doing?
just trying to find peace, so I went to the park.
Were you walking, sitting?
Just sitting, watching the birds, just trying to clear my head and renew my mind.
Nice.
Yeah, for me, it was the same thing. There's 2 parks around my house. And I used to, when I got stressed out, I would smoke. And I don't smoke anymore. So now when I get stressed out, I walk around the parks. And it really does help.
You
Nice.
feel better about it?
Well, it's just, smoking kind of is one way, it just deals with that anxiety. But when you don't have that fix,
You
the
get to
park is the
find.
fix. You can't go to that fix and go, because it doesn't exist.
If you would
all over
turn
yet.
that off, that'd be great. Thank you.
Well, anyway, we're close.
Yeah.
Well, earlier, if it's all right, that when you were talking about your massage, I was just gonna say, I used to have these neck problems like all the time. And then for years, and then I went to the chiropractor for something else. And he fixed that, and then, because I used to have to pop my neck all the time. And I tell you, the difference makes in your life, not having this chronic problem all the time over and over again, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Even if you do it a little bit at a time, it's like the amount of time you waste every day dealing with this issue.
Yeah. I think that, we live in a reality where chronic pain is normalized, right? That we are in a chronic state of either I need to be better, which means I'm not good enough. There's a chronic state of I need to have more, which is a chronic state of lack, which is painful. There's a chronic state of physical pain because we're aware of our body and it's a messenger and it'll tell us if there's something going on in it. We are in a chronic state of mental unwellness because nobody's taught us how to be mentally healthy as children. And so as we start to move through this process of releasing chronic pain, the peace that can come with that kind of feels a little bit like death.
Or the peace of death, is that where you're going?
I don't know where I'm going. I don't have a plan. I don't have a plan. I should have a plan, but I don't. Which maybe that's why I have some chronic mental pain sometimes, right? Because I don't have a plan. So when I don't have a plan, then I don't know what to do, and then my mind gets a little in a loop. What do I do? I don't know, but tell me what to do, but I don't know what to do. I don't know. We can do anything. I don't know. Oh God, shut up. Go to the park. It's kind of how the mind for me works. But was there peace in your house growing up? There was. Who had peace in their house growing up?
Sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah.
Here we go. That part.
Huh?
That part.
A little bit. Sometimes not.
I had passive aggression in my house growing up.
Mhm.
My
So it may
father-
have looked like peace, but it didn't feel like it at all.
It's kind of like my father would tell my mother and everybody else exactly what to do, and then my mother would be like, okay, now what? This is the plan. Just the worst kind of passive aggression.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious what you all think. Why we don't have world peace?
Because you told us that,
Oh, because of me?
but I can explain it by something you said. You said that if you send out love and compassion every day, we can have world peace. So the goal is to get everybody to love and have compassion, and then we'll have world peace. And I think we don't have world peace, unfortunately, because of hate.
Right on. Thanks for sharing that. How there, and then you.
And we don't have world peace because everybody want control.
Here we
Mm.
go. That part.
Do you think everybody wants to have control, or do you think it's just a certain certain percentage of human?
My perception,
Mm-hmm.
all the evil people,
The what?
all the evil people.
Okay, so not every human.
Not every
Okay,
human,
okay. A good bit. Right on. Thank you for sharing that. And then you, yes.
So for me, despite what Jane may or may not have said, I don't think everybody wants love and compassion, and I don't think everybody agrees what love and compassion is. As you have said and other people have said about the perspective is a lot of our perception. And we don't always want, there are people that are greedy that want everything even though they don't need it. And I've always thought, and you can disagree with me with this only one, but I think greed is extension of self-preservation. I think we have this idea if we own enough and we have enough, nobody can hurt us. You know, we are ultimately protected. If we have all the money in the world and we own all the land in the world, and everybody comes up to us, nobody can hurt us, which isn't really true if you look at history. I mean, governments are overthrown, people die. But I think in here, our self-preservation tells us we need more, just like we need more children. And I think, to me, that's what I think the problem is. You have to everybody would have to overcome that, or large enough of us would have to overcome that for that to happen.
All right, thank you for sharing that.
I think the soul is attracted to that which the heart yearns for. So with that being said, like, some people it could be money, some people it could be power. Some people money equals to power. Some people is respect. Some people it's the immediate gratification and self-preservation. Now, everybody has different motives. Those who in power make governmental decisions, whether they go to war or they don't go to war. You figure they're really on power trips. Power trips, control trips. You know, who's gonna say what, who's gonna shape the destiny of the world. You know, at a certain point, as being a male, you say, you know, procreation, what's your legacy gonna be? You know, does that include having an offspring that can carry your name forward? Or does that include furthering a cause that you're passionate about? You know, just different aspects. Nobody has the same one thing. There's just many different facets of it. That's how I look at it.
Right on. Thanks for sharing that. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I think it's acceptance and power. I mean, a lot of, you know, you're gonna have one country that don't accept another country's culture or beliefs, and they got power, and they want more power. Power is powerful. It is very powerful, and it can control if you allow it.
Right on. Thank you for sharing that. What were you gonna say then, Robin?
Oh, I just saw a video. It was very interesting, which I kind of know in that direction that it's going. But the video was sharing that the elites and secret governments use a system called like a Project Looking Glass, where they try to see into the future by looking at the past. And what this video was sharing was that these elites and powerful governments, as far as the future goes, can't change how the future is going, because it's saying that everybody's waking up, and whatever they do now is not changing anything that's going to happen in the future, because everybody's waking up. And I just thought that was just extremely,
I'm good with that. Not out of religion.
Down with that?
yeah.
Nice. Thanks for sharing that, Robin.
I just wanted to say that it's up to me to give love and compassion. It would be wonderful if other people did, but it's none of my business. And so on a daily basis, since you've said that, and I think love is a spiritual deal, a spiritual energy, and compassion is a spiritual energy. And I can't do anything about the world, but the one thing I can do is turn it over to the source and let that be, and just do my little part and hope that works for me.
Right on. Thanks for sharing that. What were you gonna say? Say
Oh.
that.
I was just gonna say that, first of all, love, like Steve was saying, to piggyback on a bit, is different people's perception of what love is and what it isn't. I would like to just think that positive energy for the sake of no ulterior motive given to another individual. I would just generally say, giving of yourself, giving of your experience, giving of whether it be monetary, whether it be just a hug, whether it just be giving somebody something to eat. All those are defined as acts of love. Buying a homeless person a meal when they're starving, you see it, and you just go buy them a meal. All that's love to me. Caring, showing that, but everybody has a different perception of what that really means and defining it. So if you just give of yourself, and everybody gave a little of themselves, instead of take, me, self-preservation, gotta be my way, power, respect, money, then the world would be a better place. But unfortunately, that's not the society we live in, especially with all this man-made technology that they have in this day and age. So.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing that.
So if I can make a brief point, I don't believe in this entirely, but part of me, the skeptic part of me would say, if you haven't found,
If who? Someone?
the skeptic part of me
Uh-huh.
would say, if you.
If who? You said if you. If someone.
Hold on, let me, if I could just finish the
Well, no,
thought.
I need to clarify because I don't want anyone to be like, if you believe this.
Oh, no, not one,
That's why I'm
not
asking
one
for the
person, I
clarification
just
on
meant
that.
as.
Like
as
the
a
general
person.
you.
Yeah,
Okay,
the general.
got it.
you, yes.
Okay.
Basically, if you're, no, I didn't mean Alan.
No,
specifically. No, I
That's
didn't mean.
what I just wanted to
Oh,
clarify.
okay, no, I got you. I just meant, you were just speaking of alternative motives. And I was just gonna say, the skeptic of me says, if not finding people have alternative motives, perhaps you're not looking hard enough. Because a lot of the way we interact with each other, even when those motives are good, we have alternative motives, because that's how people get what they need from other people in life a lot of times. So to look for a world without alternative motives, I think is a bit naive, that's all I was gonna say.
Nice. Thanks for sharing
Sure,
that.
sure.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's really interesting, this concept of peace. Because, I don't think that we are experiencing world peace yet. I do believe that anything is possible, and time is just an imagination of one point to another. So anything can change in the blink of an eye. I do feel that everyone's points are so valid. Why do we not have world peace? Well, it's lack of acceptance, it's trying to control, it's greed, it's lack of compassion, it's lack of love. It's almost as if these things aren't being fully expressed, right? Acceptance isn't being fully expressed, neither is love or compassion. And when we don't have those things expressed in action, then we don't have world peace. Because if I am truly being in love or in kindness or in compassion or grace, then one, I am going to be more peaceful because I'm not trying to control anything, right? And if I am peace, I'm not controlling anything, no one is going to feel like they're being controlled, and they're going to then feel more peaceful. And then we can have space to have communication so that we're not two countries fighting, rather we're two countries talking and feeling like, how can we work together? And then I like to think about, well, what does nature do? Because we are nature. We are made of earth. We are earthlings. We are energetic beings with atomic particles and oscillations and vibrations of just light moving and bouncing around. And at the same time, we are earthly matter and we are life energy. So when I think about life energy, I think about, does life live in peace? If you think that life lives in peace, raise your hand.
I don't know the definition of life.
Nature. We'll say, does nature live in peace? If it's a yes, raise your hand to you. If it's a no, nature does not live in peace, raise your hand.
I'm not sure I understand what the expression means exactly.
Just nature itself, not humans,
Is nature
not so much
peaceful?
humans.
Is that what you mean?
Does nature live in peace? So no's.
Oh, no.
Okay, so we have some no's and we have some yeses. I guess it would depend on who's looking at it, right? Because if I am the wisteria and I find a tree to grow upon so I can make my beautiful flowers and let bees pollinate and continue the biodiversity on life, that's peaceful to me. But if I'm the tree that the wisteria is growing on, it's choking me out and I'm dying,
Oh, I see that.
right? If I am the ocean and my waves are just coming in, they're going out, coming in, they're going out. There's this peaceful quality to it, right? Till there's a storm or an upheaval. And then it can really do some damage to the shoreline, to the turtle beds, right? To the dunes, to the bird nests, right? But it also makes a whole new deposit. It makes a whole new shoreline. It makes a whole new experience for new life to be created. So when I think about nature and life, is it peaceful? Yes and no. But what I have noticed is that nature does not do things with a greedy or controlling agenda. It is doing it, whatever it is doing, just to survive. So the wisteria is growing up on the tree, not because it wants to control the tree. It would be better if it didn't kill the tree, actually, because then it could live on the tree longer. But by its own nature of surviving and thriving, it does do harm, right? And so nature, although it has its moments that feel like that's not very peaceful because it causes harm and death, in reality, what if that causing harm and death is a part of peace?
But when you was talking about frequency and vibration, I hate to say I see so many videos, but there was reflection of the sun reflecting off like a bowl onto a wall. Well, there was no vibrational frequency on the water in the bowl, but immediately when he or she of the video touched the bowl, the frequency shining off the bowl of water started making a pattern of a frequency. And I just thought that was just outrageous.
Yeah, cymatics are cool. I love cymatics. Yeah.
Does peer pressure have anything to do with what we're talking about?
Yeah, it definitely can. Because if someone is feeling pressure to do something or not do something through a peer, it's a form of control from the peer that's pressuring them to do or not do something. And so that would, to me, peer pressure kind of falls under the lane of control, manipulation, stuff like that, for sure. Did you? So then when I think about, kind of going back to nature and life, like, okay, well, so for me, when I'm having a challenge in my life, right, and I'm feeling the pressure, I'm feeling like I'm running out of control. I feel like I can't control anything. I feel like I don't have enough, which is the same as greed. It's just on the other line. Greed is I don't have enough, and then there's the I don't have enough. Either way, I don't have enough. It's the same thing. It's just one has more to show for it than the next, but still a belief. So when I get into that mode of I don't have enough, I'm not as far along as I need to be. What else? These things that we feel. I can't control what my mom is doing. I can't control what my friend is doing. I feel helpless. I feel hopeless. All these things that we can feel that really disconnect us from everything, right? It disconnects us from our body. It lets our mind just take control over everything, but it's not going anywhere. We lose sight of the heart totally. So what's really worked for me is when I go back to nature. So I can see the reality of what is natural in life. So I can see how the birds will fly and they're so peaceful. And then sometimes they do, and they're singing. And then, you have the other, like the blue jays or whatever, that they'll attack anything, right? And they're not evil birds. It's just their nature, When I see the lizard grabbing the bug, an insect, to eat it, it's not being mean, right? When I see the wisteria growing, it's not being unkind to the trees that it's growing on. When I see the raging water, it's not angry water, it's just moving with more force. Okay, so it's smoothing out a rock, so it's literally changing the shape of a rock. It's demolishing the original shape of that rock. And yet what is left is so smooth through the demolition. You know, and I see the clouds moving. It's like, wow, those are just, they're here, they're changing, they're gone. They're here, they're changing, they're gone. You know?
When you was talking about the rock just now, I remember I was driving trucks. I think I was in Arizona or New Mexico. And you see how they had to break the rocks up to make the highways. They demolish it to make the highways, but at the same time, it gave me a sense of peace to see how beautiful it is. And I almost want to cry because it was like humans did this to this rock, but look how God kept it and made it so beautiful the way it was. And
Yeah.
it was just peace. I found peace in that moment down the highway while I was driving, just by looking at the rocks.
Oh, thank you for that reflection. You know, because I think sometimes it's really easy to see the demolition and be upset about it, right? And it goes back to what he was saying. It's about perspective. You know, I can look at it and be like, oh my God, like yet another apartment building going up in Plaza Midwood.
I know.
You know, another something cool is being demolished. God. And then I'm like, okay, but why? You know, where can I find the peace in it? Well, what if the peace that I find in it is that there will be people that get to sleep with shelter there? Okay, well, that brings me peace. I still don't like it. You know, I wish it could be more natural and more trees and deer and all the things, but I can't change that. But so where can I find the peace? And I think that when we look at nature, that's where we can truly find it. And it might be through the demolition, through the way that life will live in a symbiotic relationship with other forms of life, which means that some parts will die off and some parts grow, and just kind of watching this evolution of how life moves. And when I choose to look for the peace, when I choose to find the peace, sometimes it's like a scavenger hunt. Sometimes I have to leave my house. Sometimes I have to go to the park. Sometimes I have to close my eyes. Sometimes I have to call a friend. You know, sometimes I have to breathe deeper. But there's always peace to be found because it is a part of life.
You have to look for it.
Yeah, I feel like we really do need to look for it sometimes, to remember it, really. Yeah.
It's interesting you say that because I was telling somebody earlier, one of the ways I deal with stress is when I have an uncomfortable situation, for something that come up and I'm freaking out as to what I'm gonna do, this is gonna be so awful, is I think of the worst possible thing that could happen. And then I try to find the good things about that. In other words, like if I have, a lot of times I have problems with the manager where I live. So the worst case scenario that could happen in my apartment is I could lose my apartment. And then I try to think, well, is this really as bad as I'm making it? And if that did happen, what would be the good things about that? Like I would get a new place to live. I wouldn't have to deal with this person again. So it's kind of to me like looking for the peace. So I kind of do that myself. And I do find that extremely helpful because we often blow things up in our head worse than they can ever really possibly be. And if you say the worst possible thing and then look at the good of it, it deflates it for me. I don't know if it does that for you, but that's what it does for me. It deflates the thing I've blown up.
Yeah, the fear deflates the fear.
Yeah, exactly. It deflates
Because
the fear.
we're facing it. And we're like, okay, it's almost like, did anyone ever have a fear that there was the boogeyman under your bed growing up? Okay, so I did. I used to have that fear that there was going to be someone that's just like total monster under my bed, and that if anything were out of the sheets, then it would grab that toe or that foot or whatever, right? Like, anyway. And the amount of bravery that it would have taken me to just look under the bed and face it, then I would not have laid in bed all those nights in fear. Right?
Mhm.
Worst case scenario is that I would have looked under the bed and the boogeyman would have been there. And I probably would have scared it because ain't no boogeyman ever had a kid peek under and be like, what are you doing? Right? You know? But it's that facing of, so it's looking at the demolition, it's looking at the discomfort, It's looking at the things that we don't necessarily enjoy and still choosing to find peace.
I know, like, for me, I have like issues with other people, and I might get like upset and mad at what they did. And then it's like, okay, one example is like I got mad, I got upset for the way she handled the situation. My perception at that time was like clouded because I was like angry and upset. So I went and I told the supervisor, it's like, this is what happened, this is what. She's like, well, you need to have a talk with that person. I'm like, okay. And then like the next day, she's like, did you have a talk? I said, no, I didn't see her that day. And then the next day, she was like, did you talk to her? I was like, no, my perception changed. So I looked at it a different way, and I felt there was no need to go approach her about it because I looked at it from both sides. And I just took the positive side and I ran with it. And like the negative thing, I don't want to deal with it. So maybe she had good intentions, maybe she didn't. From my perspective, at the time I got over it, she had good intention. At that time, it was me in the way I perceived it and took it that caused me to get upset. So it's like I had to find that peace and the positive out of the situation.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Like how often that happens, right? We have an experience and it's like, we glitch. Like that's what I call it, right? It's like glitching out. It's like we glitch, we can't see straight. Our everything is clouded. Our heart is clouded because someone did a thing, said a thing, they didn't do a thing, whatever. And it's really hard to just be like, oh my God, I'm so pissed right now and I love you. Like it's not the easy, like not many humans are there yet where we can experience both anger or disappointment and love at the same time. We're multidimensional beings. We actually can do that, but not many of us are there yet, right? So that's like, to me, one of the goals is, can I experience anger and can I be at peace knowing I'm safe? Or can I experience grief and joy for life itself? Can I experience all these things? So most of us have been through enough of a life where our nervous systems have been really activated, where we've had some hard times and we've kind of been like trying to figure shit out and we're like, gotta hurry up. And so I think I just want to draw us into a space where we can allow life to be all types of wackadoodle around us and still be the peace in it. Still find the peace in it. Still see a piece of peace somewhere in there. So whether it's maybe I'm in a relationship and we're fighting, it's hard to find peace in a fight, right? It's hard to find peace when there's a disagreement. But if I can be in that fight, still be myself, still be really human, and kind of pull back and be like, look at this life. I see two life beings. I see a wisteria and a tree, and one wants to live and one doesn't know that they're being used, or whatever the case is, right? Like, is one the shore and one the ocean? Is one the fire and one the log? Like, this is just nature trying to come into a new balance. And then if I can see whatever situation that I'm in, it's a little just like that, like, okay, this is just nature trying to come into a new balance, a new agreement, a new harmonic. Okay, but then I start to feel a little bit more peaceful because then I'm not trying to control the outcome. I know that I'm still going to show up fully. I'm going to show up as loving and compassionate as I can. I'm still going to show up fiery and speak my voice. I'm still going to state my boundaries. And yeah. Then we go back to the feeling of peace in our body when our nervous systems get activated. Because everybody, I don't want to speak for everybody, but how many people's nervous systems just got activated with that? Who just got a jolt? Right?
Making that balance.
Right. It's that balance. And so sometimes, because life life gets loud sometimes. You know, we have a really great day in here in this exact right now where it's relatively quiet. Haven't heard any sirens, not a lot of stuff moving around. So it even feels more peaceful in here.
Mhm.
But life is gonna make sounds, right? You're gonna hear a siren, you're gonna hear a thud, you're gonna hear a drive-by, like whatever, right? You're gonna hear the loud voice in your head that all of a sudden out of nowhere that says you're not good enough. And it's a little jarring when those loud sounds come in. So to share a little like trick, I guess, for when our nervous systems do get activated, and we may not be able to just close our eyes, right? Like if I'm walking down the street, I can't just close my eyes. You know, if I'm in the middle of the city, I can't just be in the park. I can't. I got to get there. And there, you know, like there's time that takes me to get there. So some things that work really well to just remember that the peace is a vibration, right? Like we all just kind of chilled out at the beginning and kind of got into that peaceful state so that everything wasn't moving so fast. It was kind of chilled. So a way that we can do that for ourselves, if we don't have a sound bowl or a friend to call or someone to hug or whatever, there's a technique, and it may sound really silly, but I promise you it's a thing. Y'all ready? Okay. You put your lips together and you go, and you just hum. When you hum, when the lips are put together and you hum, what it does is, because we're electromagnetic beings, we have these nerve endings on our mouth, and they literally, one goes up, and it wraps all the way around our body, and it comes back up here, and it's here. So when we connect these 2 points, imagine like the battery, when you put the 2 points, it like seals it, and then you can make a light or whatever. So imagine that, oh, these 2 points are just coming back together. When we're humming, it sends a vibration through our entire energetic field, all of our meridians, our entire nervous system. And nobody knows that we're doing it at all. But what it does is it brings us back to our body. It brings a calming to our nervous system. It's very similar to if someone just went. It's a version of that for our own bodies that we can create, because we are that bowl of water, like Todd said. We are that bowl of water. You know, so how can we re-vibrate it to shift it back? So that's a tool that I use a lot, especially when I'm in a situation that I don't feel safe in. If I'm ever in a situation where I don't feel safe, you will see me humming.
How about when someone annoys you? And they really annoy you, might even bring up some anger, and you need to step back and not say a thing. Would that help? Because would that help with your emotions? Because sometimes I can step back, but my emotions are still going, oh, you stupid fool, you know?
Yeah. So what if, okay, yes. So let's break this down. So we have the mind is saying you stupid fool. The body is feeling it, right? And then, so let's kind of bring them together. Let's just shift the mind. Okay. So what if the mind, with the anger that's being felt, instead of saying you stupid fool, says, wow, my body is experiencing anger. So it takes the rightness or wrongness out of it. So it takes that polarity out of it, and it just goes into the neutral zone of, I am experiencing anger in my body.
Right.
So then the mind says, I'm experiencing anger. Then the body goes, oh, you heard me? Hey, oh, thanks. You felt me. You felt me get all pissed. Thanks. And then if we do that hum, whatever that looks like, then it sends like a almost like a little a clearinghouse to the energetic body, and then we can start to just kind of come back into our central, more peaceful state, because we don't need to change emotions. If I'm feeling anger, it's not bad. What I do with it.
When I'm feeling anger, because I know I'm not going to do anything, I need to calm my mind to my body. And everybody has their own deal, you know, but this just angered me. And then I stop. And I say, don't do that. I try to send love, and it's so hard to send love to somebody that just pissed you off, and on and on. So this is a good situation for me.
Yeah. And what if in that situation, because I'm assuming that Robin and I aren't the only ones that have felt anger and have gone through these kind of conversations in our heads. So what if, we get this moment of like anger and we say, instead of, yeah, that's right, because they did that, or you stupid, or whatever. But the mind goes, ooh, I get to feel some anger right now. Okay, body, you're feeling some anger. It's safe to feel this anger. There's really nothing wrong with feeling it. I'm not righting or wronging anything.
Right.
I'm not trying to change it. But as soon as I start to make a conversation with it, acknowledge it, it starts to dissipate. It runs its course.
Okay.
So I'm not holding it in my body so that it doesn't get reactivated easier the next time and the next time and the next time something happens that are similar to the first thing.
I might be able to get to the place that I'm going. I'm one person that always annoys me.
Yay!
I know, right? And I know I'm learning from her.
Yeah.
So yes, but I haven't been able. It goes on in my mind. And still, when I go home, I'm thinking about it.
And that's thank you for saying that, because oftentimes if we get mad, if we're doing the work, sometimes it's like, I'm going to use you as an example because you haven't yet. I doubt you will. But like, so say Alan's like, he just made me mad. Then I could be like, ooh, okay, I feel this anger. Where am I feeling it? I might feel it in my shoulders.
Right.
Okay. I might feel it in my stomach, right? So I'm just tuning into my body. Now, notice I'm not messing with him anymore, right? Okay, I'm tuning in my body. Okay, I feel it in my stomach. Yep. Feels like somebody just punched me. Great. Can I send some love to this pain? Can I send some love to these shoulders that just got tense? Can I send can I send my stomach love that just got so upset? I can. And it might mean that I'm like, yep. And then I can look at him and I have soothed me. I took care of this first.
Right.
Then I become more peace. So then however I interact will be, now I'm in more peace.
Right.
So he's not going to feel me trying to control him and change him and me not liking him or trying to defend myself or whatever we would normally do. So it's coming back into the body, talking with the mind and the spirit, and it's bringing them all together in that conversation.
It's interesting because what I try to do is, I told you to send the person love, and I'm usually too pissed off to do that. So you've told me now I need to turn inward and send the love to myself
Yeah,
and get myself taken care of.
yeah, yeah. You can give yourself the love and compassion for feeling anger and not being like, yeah, you're so right to be mad. No, but just like, where am I feeling this in my body? Wow, body, this is where you've been storing anger this long. I'm gonna start paying attention to you and loving you now. And the body's gonna start to just naturally relax.
Well, thank you. I hope I have the opportunities.
I'm sure you will.
So, anger still is and used to be really, really bad for me. And then I sort of unknowingly repressed my anger, and then I used to have a lot of depression. But it's an important issue to me now. And one of the ways I deal with mine is I try to see where it's coming from exactly, kind of figure out, because a lot of times we don't know exactly what we're angry about. Like we might know, like I'm going to use you as an example because I'm not angry at you, but I may say, she said this and it really angered me, but it's not usually specifically that Jane said this. It's something about that bothers me because it's about me. It's usually about yourself. That's where the anger comes from. It's not necessarily what the other person did. It's like what they did disagrees with what you believe in, or there can be a multitude of things. So what I try to do is look at, why does this anger me? Why is this? What is this about this person, this thing they did that angers me? Because if I can get at the root of it, I mean, you can in one instant, obviously. It helps me deal with it then and in the future. And I find that helpful a lot. I don't know if you do, but
Yeah.
I find that helpful a lot because otherwise you just, every time you run into that person, you're like, you just go crazy and you're like, why is this? Anyway.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Sometimes for me, I get to go into I wonder, like, why did I get so mad? And sometimes if I sit too long, for me, if I sit too long in the why did I get so mad, I can either get more mad again, or I feel bad for getting mad. So there's that balance, right? It's like, can I be curious? And if I go from curious to judgmental, then I need to step out of that question because it's not serving me then.
Mhm.
If it's just like, oh, I'm so curious. Oh no, it actually made me mad about that person cutting me off.
Mhm.
Like, what is it because I could have gotten in a wreck, but I didn't get in a wreck? Oh, is it because I did have a bunch of car accidents as a kid? That actually might be it because I'm not actually mad. That just sparked fear. Oh, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then quit. But if I'm like, why did they do that? Why are they thinking they're more important? Why are they going so fast? Why are they breaking the law?
Yeah, stewing it.
Right?
doesn't help.
So it's being able to have that discernment on how long can I sit and question without it changing from curiosity to judgment. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah.
I have an issue that I'm still trying to work through.
Yeah.
It's this lady that I don't know, for some reason I just don't like her. And one day we have like a mutual friend, and we usually walk to the store. So one day I asked her, "You ready to go to the store?" And this woman that I don't like was like, "Okay, I want to walk with y'all." So she walked with us, and I just felt my energy. It's just something about her. So I just kept walking away, like trying to walk off to the side, walk ahead of them. And on the way back from the store, I pulled my so-called friend off to the side, like, "Look, I don't like your friend. So if you see me moving funny, it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's just that something about her, just the energy." She went and told her. So she confronted, not the girl, our mutual friend had a side by side. She was like, "Why you don't like her?" And she was like, I just looked at her funny because I'm like, why would you tell her something like that? So the other girl, she was like, "Well, you told me she don't like me." So I felt like I was put in a space. I don't like to lie. So it's like I looked at the girl like, "No, I don't like you. I don't know why I don't like you. And I got too much on my plate to try to figure out why I don't like you. But I would never disrespect you. We can still be around each other, and I'll never disrespect you at all." And to this day, I still just don't know why. Do I need to be trying to figure out why, or just let it be?
I don't like vanilla ice cream.
It's just
I
what it
don't.
is.
I don't dislike it, but I don't like it. If I had any other choice of any other ice cream, I'm going to choose it. If someone said you have to hang out with vanilla and you have to eat it, I probably still would take a couple bites just to like be the person that like doesn't leave the whole thing there. And I probably wouldn't finish it because it's just not my jam. Right? Now I could ask myself why for years why I really don't like vanilla ice cream. It's just not my jam right now. But I am open to liking it and being around it. Like I'm open to changing my feelings around it. I'm not saying that vanilla ice cream's bad. I'm not telling anybody else they can't hang out with it. If vanilla ice cream looked at me and said, "Why don't you like me?" You're just not my flavor right now. I love you and I'm glad you're here on this earth with me. We get to play together. So I can still be nice and kind, but I don't have to engage. I don't have to take that energy on. I don't have to try to figure it out. Yeah, thanks for asking. Thanks for bringing that through. Yeah. So if y'all want to start to bring it to a close on just a higher vibration of peace, right? So my mom's on here and she says she doesn't like vanilla ice cream either. Runs in the family. And nothing against vanilla ice cream. I love vanilla. Like vanilla itself, good stuff. Vanilla ice cream, put chocolate on it. There you go.
I love vanilla ice cream.
Strawberries. See, like,
No chocolate.
I'm so glad we can still be friends.
Do you like caramel?
Mm,
Oh, I love caramel.
I just like chocolate, really. I mean, that's like if it's chocolate, I'm golden. Yes. So we'll just end on a higher vibration of peace. Because when we first started, we got into a lower vibration of peace, right? It was like, oh, this feels good. This feels okay. So peace can have different vibrations, right? So we can have a lower vibration of peace or a higher vibration of peace. Okay, so we're just going to up it so we can take it out into the world so we can expand it beyond us. Okay, so take a breath in. Let it go. And just as we did before, let the breath be big and full. As you breathe peace in, you breathe peace out. Every breath in brings more peace into your body, and every breath out adds more peace to the world. Every breath in brings peace to the mind, and every breath out brings peace to the world. Every breath in brings peace to your heart, and every breath out brings peace to the world. Every breath in brings peace to your body. Every breath out brings peace to the world. Feeling this cycle of peace moving in through you, continue to allow peace to flood in and flow out. Let it flow out of your fingers and everything that you touch. Let peace pave your path with every step you take. Let peace be seen through the eyes. Let peace radiate out from every pore of your entire body. Notice your radiance, your light, your vibration of peace, and what a gift this is in the world. That your peaceful mind, your peaceful body, and your peaceful heart are truly a gift. You are a gift to this earth, to other humans, and to all of the animals. And you allow gratitude and peace to flow in with the breath. Grateful for this breath, grateful for this peace, grateful for this mind, grateful for this peace of mind, grateful for this heart, and grateful for this peace of the heart. Together we'll take a big full breath in and let it go. Come back to the awareness of your now, of your body, of a grateful body. Just feel grateful for the peace that you are and that you can cultivate and that you can see even when there's chaos or darkness or confusion. That you have the skills, the power, and the tools to cultivate, to see, and share peace in the world. So let's go share it. Let's go share it. Let's go share this peace. Shall we?
We shall.
Peace be shared. Do, 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 do.
There be peace on earth.
I know, right?
Let
Thank you
it
for
be.
thanks y'all for coming and being here with me today. I'm glad you
Sorry,
could
I
make
was
it.
late.
It's okay, better late than never. Thank you for joining us, y'all. I love y'all so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.